dass ihr da seid. Wir haben etwas ganz Besonderes heute geplant, nämlich ein Interview live mit SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. Sie hat einen Rekord aufgestellt, ist sehr, sehr lange Titelträgerin und von daher schön, dass ihr alle dabei seid. Ich freue mich schon, dass die Ersten im Chat sind. Ich bin Walandi Tsanti. Mich hört und seht ihr und spürt ihr vielleicht auch immer ein wenig. Am Samstag immer ab 22 Uhr. An meiner Seite ist dann Manu Thiele. Heute ist an meiner Seite Marty McFly und Doc Brown. Und in wenigen Augenblicken wird dann auch Bayley hinzustoßen. Und dann werden wir ein bisschen drüber reden, was sie in diesen, oder beziehungsweise an diesem Wochenende erwartet. Meine Herren, haut die Herzen raus. Da ist so viel los gerade. Ich freue mich, dass ihr auf jeden Fall alle dabei seid. Teilt diese Story natürlich live auf euren Profilen und dann können wir eine ganze Menge starten. Wenn das ein bisschen unbeholfen aussieht, so bin ich. Ich danke dafür. Ich gucke meine noch, habe ich sie nicht entdeckt. Wird sich aber gleich geben. Also eure Fragen dann gerne mit dazu. Und einen schönen Gruß an die Ersten, die da sein werden, denn wir haben ja eine ganze Menge auf jeden Fall heute geplant. Am Wochenende steht nämlich Hell in a Cell an. Ich denke, das ist so mit einer der beliebtesten Pay-Per-Views, den es bei WWE gibt. Und ihr dürft euch jetzt alle kurz sammeln, denn Bayley ist bereit und ich werde Bayley hinzuschalten. Jetzt sind wir soweit. Warten auf It's Me Bayley, folgt auf @itsmebayley und dann werden wir sie sehen. Da ist sie. Hey Bayley.
Hello.
Thanks for your time.
Yeah, how's it going?
Fine, thanks. Happy to see you. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing good.
Pretty good. You are. And with that, cheers, my tea.
Cheers.
Bayley, it's great to have you here in Germany. We see you every Saturday on ProSieben Max 10 p.m. That was my plug for this one. You're the reigning SmackDown Women's Champion, and this Sunday, record-setting SmackDown Women's Champion. I want to get that right. And this Sunday, you will have a very special match at Hell in a Cell. Do we know?
I'm not signing that contract, guys.
Okay, yeah, you're right, because
I'm not playing.
We need to find out at SmackDown if you sign that contract for this Sunday only, exclusively on WWE Network, you versus Sasha Banks.
Maybe I don't want to go to SmackDown. Maybe I have things to do today, you know? I'm very busy with my interviews because as a champion, I have to fulfill my duties, and, you know, I don't even think Sasha can handle all of this, so we'll see.
That's an interesting point because Sasha Banks already stepped inside Hell in a Cell twice. How's your preparation? Let's consider you would sign the contract.
If I were to sign that contract, you know, Vince McMahon's going to have to pay me double what I'm getting paid right now. You know what I mean? So hypothetically, if I were to step inside Hell in a Cell, I mean, it wouldn't be anything that Sasha's not used to. She would just lose again. So I'm the longest reigning champion in her history, the first ever women's Grand Slam champion, and that's not by accident. So, you know, what's another match on my list to just walk out in victory?
Interesting part is when you face Sasha Banks, because you faced her a couple of times, what is the difference in stepping in the ring with her and any other opponent in WWE? Because you two obviously know each other pretty well.
Well, I mean, I think that's it, is that we know each other so well. After, you know, every single match that we either have together, we've been in tag matches together, we come back and we pick them apart, what we didn't like, what we did wrong. So I know how her mind works. After all of her Hell in a Cell matches, I was there to talk to her afterwards, to be there for her afterwards, to lick her wounds afterwards. But she said what she did wrong and why she lost. So I know all of her strengths. I know all of her weaknesses. I know the way that she thinks. And that's what makes it different from anybody else, is that we probably know each other a little too well. And, you know, that kind of messes things up for each of us, but also kind of benefits each of us. But I'm smarter, so she's kind of screwed either way.
That's pretty interesting. It was about 1 year ago after Hell in a Cell where we witnessed you change. And I'm not only talking about change from the looks, but change in attitude. And pretty much for you, it was an amazing year since then. And what really many fans, especially here in Germany, wanted to ask, was it one moment that triggered that change, or did it develop in a couple of months where you said, okay, the old Bayley is gone and in with the new Bayley?
Well, I mean, a lot of these questions will be answered on my WWE Chronicle on the WWE Network this Saturday, or for, I don't know when it would come out for you guys. I guess it would still be Saturday because it's a network, right?
Well, it's going to be Saturday. Okay. I'm pretty sure.
Tomorrow, I answer all those questions, where all of this came from. It basically was just a buildup over the years, but it came to that point where I was just kind of fed up and knew whatever I was doing wasn't going to get me any further, so I needed to make a change.
That's pretty interesting. So, guys, only on WWE Network, exclusively, just like Hell in a Cell this Sunday. We still are waiting if Bayley is going to sign, and that's a pretty good plug because every Saturday, 10 p.m., only on ProSieben Max, we can see SmackDown. And Bayley, obviously, I think everyone is raving about the match you had with Sasha Banks at TakeOver in Brooklyn. And I got to admit, it was like, let's say it was like a mindfulness exercise, because I really remember what I was doing back then. It was like everything stopped and I had to see that. And first of all, I got to say, it was great. It was a great moment. You two developed a great moment, and perhaps you can bring us something or tell us about that experience.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it was such a weird. It just seemed like everything in the universe and all the timing just kind of came to that moment, and it worked out perfectly for us personally. But NXT as a whole, you know, that was our first time getting outside of Full Sail, getting outside of Orlando for a takeover or for a pay-per-view, or and it just felt different, especially in Brooklyn. Like, those fans are so passionate. So they were just ready for us to break out. It's like NXT was this little rumbling, and, you know, we were kind of getting out there. We were kind of getting noticed, everybody on the roster. But it wasn't until that takeover where, like, the people just screamed for us, and that's like how we were born. So I think it was just the magic in the building, circumstances and everything. And that match for me, obviously, 5 years ago today, we're still talking about it. No matter everything that I've done in the year that I've had, we're still talking about TakeOver Brooklyn. So I feel very fortunate that we were able to have that match in that moment for not just us, but for wrestling fans, because it is something that everybody can look back on. And I get messages all the time from wrestling schools saying that they're playing our match to teach psychology or to teach selling or whatever it is. So I think it's cool that we were able to do that, and just hopefully it continues to, I don't know, teach people beyond generations and just something to enjoy and always look back on.
Do you realize that you're teaching psychology? It's like you often had those pictures when Bayley was the fan, and you posted that pictures, and right now you're not the fan anymore. You go on air and you say you're the role model, and to be honest, you are the role model. How does that feel?
I know. It feels cool. I mean, it's just something that I set my mind to a long time ago. It's something that a weird feeling I had since I was 10, 11 years old, and I just didn't know why I loved wrestling and WWE so much, and what it was that inside of my soul that made me want to just focus on that and not anything else. But it's kind of something I always wanted to do. I always wanted to be seen as a role model, someone who can inspire someone to just follow the dreams or join the dreams with me. And it's awesome to finally be able to do that and give back to wrestling, because wrestling gave me so much.
Which WWE legend or Hall of Famer? Yeah, cheers for that. Which WWE legend or Hall of Famer inspired you the most, perhaps?
There was a lot. I was just a fan of everybody. You know, I wasn't like these sheep fans today where they heckle everybody for every little thing we do.
You're absolutely right.
Gosh, geez. Down, guys. It's fun. I loved everybody, but
You're making fun here.
Macho Man, my first one, and then the Hardy Boys and Lita. So I would say that Lita was the one that really inspired me to show me that I can do it, because she just looked different than everybody else. She dressed differently. She wrestled differently. She kind of like danced to her own beat, and I love that. So that's always what I try to carry with me. And then once I got signed and started getting things going, AJ Lee was actually there, and she was someone who was physically there to tell me that you can do it your way and don't let anybody tell you different, because I was so different than everybody else. So Lita and AJ really, really helped me.
Well, pretty good. I got to ask you another thing. Today is SmackDown, and many fans again ask, how is a day in the life of a WWE superstar, and how is a day when SmackDown airs or when a pay-per-view airs? How's that daily routine?
They're pretty crazy. So let's see, it's 10:45 a.m. My call time is 2 p.m. So at least we get the morning, you know, to work out and do things. But I mean, I had this today, so I have to move around my schedule. I planned to work out super early, but I didn't. So now I have to work out after this. It's just there's still a lot to do before you go to the building. And I just, you want to go in calmly. So you work out, eat, read a book just to get your mind right, find a nice outfit, go in there prepared, mentally prepared. You really can't think about anything else. And then when you get to the building, it's just chaos, 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 chaos. You, of what you might be doing, who you might be wrestling, and then it could change 20 times. Sometimes you're sitting around in the locker room forever, or sometimes you're nonstop just getting ready for the show. It's a lot, especially for women, because we have to sit in the makeup chair and hair and all that stuff, and adds so much.
Cool. Bayley, before I let you go, thanks for your time again, because we obviously heard you had to make some time for us. So thank you for that. I would like to end this little segment with 5 quick questions to you. You can answer them with 1 sentence or less. Jay Shetty would be proud of me right now. And are you ready for that?
I'm ready.
All right. When someone wants to become a WWE superstar, what advice would you give him, or what would be the biggest attribute he or she should have?
Maybe not have. You can go in with nothing, but just find a reputable school and learn the fundamentals, learn everything you can, travel, and just be open-minded.
Thanks. Who would be your favorite opponent in a WrestleMania main event?
Well, it used to be Sasha, but now she's been a punk. I have to choose Lita.
Lita, pretty cool. The one Bayley match everyone should see and you recommend?
NXT Takeover Brooklyn.
Good choice. Good choice. Who's the next upcoming star out of NXT in the women's division in your eyes?
God, that's kind of hard. I'm going to name a few, which people will already realize. You know, Aaliyah, everybody needs to keep an eye on Aaliyah. She's been there since I was there, and she hasn't stopped working her freaking butt off. So I really look forward to her just getting some moments of her own. But Candice LeRae, Shotzi Blackheart, Tegan Knox when she gets better and comes back. Don't even have to mention Io. Everybody already knows that. Rhea, everybody knows that. There's a lot, and I look forward to all of them.
And then you, as the SmackDown Women's Champion. And our last question would be, Bayley, what is your favorite movie?
Wow, that's a great question. I never get asked that. And people are going to laugh at me, or maybe you don't know it, but my favorite movie is Love and Basketball. with
I
Omar
don't
and
know.
dog. Like,
I'm sorry.
I don't know how many people that is, especially in Germany. I don't know, but it's a great movie. I was a huge basketball player, a huge basketball fan. So it was a cheesy little romance movie that was about basketball, and I love it still.
I'm pretty sure everyone's going to write right now, how could you not know that movie? Oh, man, I'm sorry for that. Right now, I think I have to do a sixth question because we need to know for SmackDown, Saturday, 10 p.m. on Pro7 Max, will you sign the contract for the Hell in a Cell match this Sunday?
I mean, I feel like I'm going to get bombarded with this question over and over and over tonight or tomorrow, but you're going to have to wait and see.
And that's
that Vince McMahon double contract, that double money, the double pay. See if I can get that, and then we'll talk.
yeah. And could you give me some of that? If he double pays, I mean, we teased it. It.
Okay, let's, say a little prayer for me, or send some vibes, some positivity my way, and if I feel it, then
I'm already doing it. All right. Bayley, thanks for your time again. Have a lot of fun. Have a great weekend today, SmackDown, and then on Sunday, perhaps inside Hell in a Cell. We will have to find out. And then we're happy to see you. Thanks for your time again, Bayley.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
So, ich bleibe jetzt noch 20 Sekunden da. Ich glaube, den ganzen Chat werde ich jetzt nicht durchgehen. Schön, dass ihr auf jeden Fall alle dabei seid. Ich sehe es hier, wir kratzen knapp an der 1000, die dabei sind. Das war SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley. Sie hat selber einige sehr interessante Dinge angesprochen. War sehr offen, finde ich. Den Film, den sie am Ende meinte, kannte ich leider nicht. Das tut mir sehr leid. Ich werde es herausfinden, welcher es war. Postet es gerne drunter. Und dann werden wir das Ganze sehen. Natürlich nicht vergessen, sie hat selber angesprochen und so ein bisschen einen Tease gegeben. SmackDown findet am Samstag um 22 Uhr statt. Jeden Samstag. Da dann an meiner Seite Manu Thiele. Pardon, Manu, du guckst bestimmt zu. Und jetzt kracht's bei mir. Nein, Herr Thiele, so nicht. Und da werden wir dann SmackDown präsentieren, werden sehen, ob der Vertrag unterschrieben wurde und wie das Ganze weitergeht. Natürlich könnt ihr WWE auch jeden Mittwoch sehen, ab 22 Uhr dort mit Kollegen Hackel und Böschen. Ein Gruß an die Rote Show natürlich auch an dieser Stelle. Schön, dass ihr alle dabei wart. Ich sehe schon, langsam gehen alle. Deshalb sage ich, wer noch einen Tick bleiben will, gerne rüber zu @Walandi Tsanti. Schön, dass ihr dabei wart. Und wir hören und sehen und spüren uns vielleicht noch ein bisschen dann bei SmackDown. Ich möchte das Ganze mit einem Zitat beenden, das ich extra aufgeschrieben habe von Pulp Fiction. Shrimps sind Früchte des Meeres. Du kannst sie am Spieß braten, backen, auf dem Grill tun, sortieren. Es gibt Shrimps-Kebab, Kreolen, Gumbas, in der Pfanne gebraten, frittiert. Es gibt Shrimps mit Bananen, Bohnen, Shrimps, Kokosnuss, Shrimps, Pfeffershrimps, Shrimpsalat, Shrimp-Eintopf, Shrimpsalat mit Kartoffeln, Burger, Sandwich. Das war's, glaube ich. Danke, dass ihr dabei wart. Ciao, bis nächstes Mal. Wenn ich wüsste, wie ich es beende. Ciao, happy SmackDown.